So the next one that I wanted to talk about was the medieval event. This will probably be a second video continuing, but this is one of the smaller markets. Well, I would say it used to be. I kind of measure a smaller market as like pretty chilled, usually a day, maybe 2 days, always on the weekend or like a Friday. And it's less people, maybe a few hundred throughout the day. Here and there it fluctuates. There'll be quiet times, there'll be busy times, but with the way that Magic and Mayhem, you can check them out on Instagram, and it's obviously local to Cape Town, but they have blown up substantially. So they have thousands of people at the events, and because there was really a need and a want from the people to have something like this, I actually think they're one of the best markets possibly ever currently running, and it's only getting better. It's all medieval themed. So I think the Magic and Mayhem event is a nice event to do while in between Comic-Con, because it kind of serves as a little break or gap to see some people talk about some art, all of that jazz, and still showcase and make a little bit of money. I do the photography for them as well, because I know some of the founders, let's say, of the event. I know all of them, and they're very cool people. They got a lot of volunteers on their team, a lot of friendly faces and very helpful people. It's an amazing event. They do all sorts of things. They've got archery, they've got some sword fighting, they've got quizzes, they've got games, obviously the market, they've got food trucks as well, they've got a lot of seating. It's just an absolute vibe, and I get to see some of the regular guys, because usually with Comic-Con, everybody kind of comes down from Johannesburg and from all sorts of other places, Pretoria, to come to Comic-Con Cape Town. If they do, usually vendor or are an artist at Comic-Con Cape Town. So this one is a bit more like to the people that's in the area of Cape Town, and it's just a vibe. So I think for that, I'm a bit less stressed. I'm not so focused on stock, I'm not so focused on what I've got. It's kind of just what I do have after Comic-Con, or what I've currently got left that I kind of put up, and maybe some stuff here and there that's new, that when I've got the ability to get more stock or more stickers, then I put that out. But even then, it does fairly well as you could think, for a market. And there's no complaints here, because it's always a vibe. It's just something to do that isn't just being in your room all day drawing. So a few of those in between in the year, something to look forward to. It kind of also gives you a deadline as an artist, because you've been drawing, you've been working on all these projects, you've been doing all these things, and now there's an event again. So now you kind of have to kick things into gear, organize yourself a little bit, and be like, okay, will we be ready? Do I have help? Can I do these things? Whatever. So these events are always a great measure of what you're able to produce, what you're able to put out there, and how you're able to communicate yourself as what you now need to be, a businessman or an entrepreneur or whatever, just the money side of things. Then being able to just make things happen, make things possible, thinking about your store, thinking about traffic, how the day will be, etc. And I also measure, like, what can I do differently, how can my store look better, what type of art, because since it is a medieval event, it is themed and styled differently to just Comic-Con. So the focus is more on medieval fantasy fiction, Dungeons and Dragons, all sorts of things like that. So you kind of want your stall to be slightly different. You don't want it to be the same for every single market and every single event, but you always want it to speak about you, your taste, your vibe as an artist, because people will always look at that and know, hey, it's you, from how your stall looks. And eventually, I think over time it will progress, and you'll build some things, you'll create some sort of display stuff, and it will just continue to build on top of that, and eventually a couple years down the line, it'll just look better and better and better. So that's kind of my 2 cents on it. The vibes are always immaculate at Comic-Con Cape Town and Magic and Mayhem, the medieval event. I think it's always good, it's always busy. Magic and Mayhem is outside predominantly, so it's always hot, because the weather is always sunny on a day like that, which is a good thing because there's a lot of stalls and stuff that's outside, but it's also just hydration, managing the up and down, walking, making sure you eat, all of these things. You don't want to sit at the stall and just be dying, drying out there, while waiting for someone to talk to you or buy something or give you life. You just want to make sure you're hydrating, that you're good, that you're comfortable, that you're able to talk and man your stall with energy, with vibes, and just being social a little bit in your best capacity that you can. You don't have to be the most social person, but it definitely has made me a little bit more confident in what's required in talking about my art. I never thought I'd have to talk about my art as much, and I think it kind of makes this thing that's going on a bit easier, because I have to talk to other random people that are invested or start to be invested and interested in my art, that don't really know me, or this is brand new to them, or they just found a piece that they like. It brings all the engagement that you need to your socials, to what you do, and it just fuels you a little bit more, that by the next time you'll be even better, you'll be even happier. It just makes it fun, makes it interesting, and that's my final piece. I think both are very cool. I like both events. They keep me going. They add a little bit in my pocket that also keeps me going. I don't think, like, to have the money conversation, money is important. It keeps everything flowing, it keeps everything going. It allows people to eat, to feed the animals, to do all sorts of things. But the vibes also balance that. Seeing your friends, seeing people you love there, enjoying it, eating good food, learning, talking, working on your social skills, motivation, also fueling yourself, and just growing as an artist. These events truly make you grow, and they force you out of your comfort zone for people that spend most of the time by their desk, or painting or doing whatever. So yeah, if you liked anything that I said or this video, please consider subscribing, consider following. I've got an Instagram as well where you can view all my art and current shenanigans. Thank you for watching.